right, we've got Sally Ross calling in today. She is calling in from the SLT Fire and Rescue. Sally, can you hear me?
Hi, good morning. Yes, I hear you fine.
Good morning. Happy Tuesday.
Yep,
Um,
it's a happy Tuesday. Very
and
cold today.
it's going to be warming up, thankfully. Not quite as cold as it was yesterday.
Yeah.
That's good news. So, Sally, we live in a wildfire adaptive community, and living in a wildfire adaptive community, we have to be ready for an emergency and a potential evacuation. I mean, at any given time, correct?
Yep. That's right.
And what do you have any tips for our viewers on like how they can be prepared with a to-go bag and in the event of an evacuation?
Yeah, everyone should have a go bag. And in that should be some essential items that can get you through for a few days. Because if a large wildfire rips through here, which it has and it will, you don't want to think about, oh, what should I take? You should already know what you want to take.
Mhm.
Even if you don't have your bag packed, even if you had a list of things that you need to take with you, so that if you needed to pack a bag in 10 minutes, you could.
Mhm.
Things, essential things. So if you think about power could go out, and it has, you would want to have make sure that you have gas in your vehicle and don't leave it on empty ever. Have cash, have phone chargers and batteries. A radio would be good because sometimes there's just no access to any information, but they have those little crank radios. Those are very cool to find out what's going on and where you need to go, because evacuations can be very scary and a lot of things going on out in the world and you just don't know what's happening. So if you're prepared and you're ready, okay, here we go, it's time to go, and you have your bag full of your things, your medicine, your pet's food, your prescriptions, like if you're, I mean, for like eyeglasses and your extra contacts and socks and clothes, and like granola bars, things like that, throw that in your vehicle, and that way you can get on the road and get out of danger's way.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, and another thing too, I think is communicating with like your family because I've got kids. I know that if something were to happen in the summer, I'm on one side of town, they're on the other. It's really important to have a plan in place. And talking
Hmm.
about pets really quickly, I've seen these stickers before that you put on your window and they let first responders know how many pets are inside of the house. Is it true that in the event of an evacuation, if people couldn't make it back to their neighborhood, you guys do go around and try to rescue people's pets?
That has occurred in the past.
Mhm.
It all depends on the situation. I mean, if
Mhm.
we're facing a gnarly fire, the firefighters are on the fire fighting it.
Mhm.
So they're not going from house to house to check on things like that.
Mhm.
However, for an example, in the event like what Caldor fire was, there was some time, and so there were a lot of law enforcement officers here from other areas, and they were the ones going door to door, house to house, checking to make sure that there were no pets or people left behind or around or whatever. And so that's where law enforcement comes in as a huge help to us. But if there's like a single house that is a fire, they would definitely check for all the animals. But in
Mhm.
a wildfire situation, I don't think they would have time for that.
Mhm. And it's also really important that when people leave their house to make sure that they lock up because we saw this during the Caldor fire that we had a lot of bear invasions.
Yeah.
And that was a real issue.
It really was, because it's like, oh, the people are gone. I guess we'll just move in. But
Yeah.
yeah, locking up your house is very important. I think any time of year, locking your car is always important too, because bears go along and try to look for food, and they know how to open doors.
Hmm. Yes, I know that firsthand all too well. So
Oh,
this is great information. There's a lot of great resources online. Living with Tahoe, living with fire, Tahoe.com. I have that wrong. What's the website?
it's Tahoe Living with Fire, and
Tahoe
I
living with
think it
fire.com.
might be .org, but
Okay.
it's Tahoe Living with Fire. So
Cool.
you can get a list for your go bag. You can find out all the things that should be in your bags or
Hmm.
your boxes or whatever it is that you use, so that you can pick it up and walk out of your house and have things.
All right. Well, thank you so much. Let's hope that we never need this information, but we should always be prepared for the
Always.
possibility. So, thank you to all the work that you guys do, keeping us safe here in the community. We appreciate you guys so much. And thank you for taking time out of your day to call in and give us some tips on how to be prepared because we just saw what happened in LA. It's absolutely heartbreaking, and it's definitely something that we're susceptible to here in the
Yeah.
Basin. So,
Of course.
All right. All right. Well, do you have a wonderful day? Enjoy this beautiful weather, and we will talk with you
Thank
again
you.
soon.